So you guys at home probably think, if you buy a really expensive GPU like this, you gotta go all out and spend so much more on your gaming PC, but today, we're gonna show you don't have to.
For around $2,300, we built a value-focused RTX 5080 gaming PC, and yes, it is expensive, but in terms of price performance, I think we had a really good option here. Let's talk about it after a word from today's sponsor.
Recording top quality gameplay is a bigger challenge than you would think, and we have to do it daily when we benchmark the PCs we build on video. It's super important to choose the best tools and settings to ensure there's no lag, FPS drops, screen tearing, and more. That's why we recommend using today's video sponsor, Wondershare DemoCreator. DemoCreator is able to record video up to 4K UHD and 120 FPS, but the crazy part is that every track is recorded separately, which allows for your mic, gameplay, and camera to all be independently edited in post, which saves you a ton of work. And the AI features included are crazy. For example, you're able to use it to fully create thumbnails to streamline the content creation pipeline. You can even use it to enhance the audio experience for your viewers due to the AI denoising and speech enhancement settings. My favorite feature by far, though, is the AI subtitling. You're able to automatically add subtitles to the video and change the style however you like. It also supports SRT format, which is super professional and convenient. DemoCreator makes it as easy as possible to create engaging gameplay highlight videos, and with its comprehensive set of features and easy-to-use interface, it's a must-have for anyone wanting to get into content creation, especially for those interested in making their own YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more or in downloading it today, check out the links in the description down below to try it for free. Big thanks again to Wondershare DemoCreator. Now, let's get back to the video.
So funny enough, I recently bought my own 5080 and I had to spend over $1,400, and that was at Micro Center, not scalped. So obviously these cards are not hitting that typical MSRP, so because of that, we decided to show you guys that you don't need to spend $5-6 grand on a 5080 or even a 5090 build. You can actually do it for a lot cheaper and still get really good performance. And that is why we decided to go with the AMD Ryzen 7 7700, which we paid $162 from AliExpress. You can get some really good CPU deals if you're willing to shop and wait for a little bit on AliExpress. And then of course you're gonna need something to cool that CPU, and so that's why we went with the Thermalright Frozen Note 360 in white. That's an AIO that comes in at just $58.59. And then coming in at $160, we decided to go with the ASRock B650m Pro RS. Awesome micro ATX board that has Gen 4 and Gen 5 support. And then we got a pretty good deal on the RAM. This is the Teamgroup Expert T-Create 32 gigs at 6000 MHz CL30. Pretty good deal at $88. And then for storage, we went with the Timetec 2TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD, which came in at $115 and has some really good read and write speeds.
Now, of course, the graphics card is the Asus Prime RTX 5080, coming with the 60 gigs of VRAM. Now, we price this at the MSRP, but these cards can go anywhere between $1,300 to $1,500, depending on where you buy this card. But it is a really awesome GPU that is very high-end, and yes, it is a very high-end build. Be able to dive into 4K gaming and 1440p using DLSS features, and I'm excited to see how it pairs well with that Ryzen 7 7700. And with the power supply, we have an MSI Mag A850GL ATX 3.1 power supply. It is 80 plus gold. We got it for around $109. And this is a really solid power supply because wattage-wise, the 5080 works very well with the 850 watt power supply or greater. Those are normally higher estimates than you really need. You could get away with the 750 if you want to, but we like to err on the side of having a little more wattage to work with, especially with a build like this that has room for upgrades in the future. And lastly, the case, the Zalman P30, who's actually the case sponsor of today's video. Shout out to Zalman for that. The P30 in white, which is a really awesome case, coming in at $79. Comes with 3 ARGB fans pre-installed, some tempered glass that wraps all the way around the build, and it's a very solid micro ATX case. I will say it fits really big GPUs. I mean, our 5080 we have here is a more compact version of the 5080, but I'd be very confident putting in a much bigger version of the 5080, because again, if we're talking about a value-focused build for a 5080, you're just gonna get whatever 5080 you can get and try to put together a PC build, because that's kind of the market we're in right now. But it's a really awesome case to build in, very easy to set up, and great airflow.
So for $2,300, we got this PC ready to go, and of course we need to see how it's gonna game, because this is some pretty good value proposition right here.
Let's dive into some gaming.
Alright guys, we're playing some Marvel Rivals, and we're actually running 4K. We got DLSS set to quality, and we of course are using some ray tracing with high quality and basically high settings all the way around. Starting off around 130 FPS. Using about 18 gigs of RAM. So right now, it's funny because even our 5080 is not even fully being maxed out.
The beauty of the DLSS.
Yep, DLSS definitely takes a lot of stress off your hardware. And I will say, this is a game where you might be thinking like, oh, this 5080 should be able to run every game at like 400 FPS. Yeah, Valorant, CS, of course. But I will say, this game is just really hard to run.
Yeah. Very demanding game, especially at 4K.
Yeah, this is definitely a really good playable experience. It's funny because I just got a 5080 at home with a 9800X 3D, and I haven't played Marvel Rivals, but I think it'd run pretty similar to this.
Yes, sir.
So you don't need to have like the insane like X3D to have a nicer GPU like this. Well, you can do a somewhat budget build.
Yeah, with this being the value 5080 build, realistically, most people who are doing this would probably run a 1440p super high refresh rate or like a 1440p OLED, something like that. That would be the best bang for buck value. Again! Oh, no.
I'm not gonna lie, I was starting to like really mash buttons there. I just needed to again.
Curious about watts at home too. We're looking at about 418 watts.
It's definitely a little higher than you know, a lot of the PCs we built here, but I mean, for 4K, that's not bad. Am I gonna really get spun off the map here?
You are, with a lot of people.
Holy crap. Oh. Get up here.
Oh, Jeff, no!
Ooh. I feel like a healer up here. I think I'm just gonna die. Oh my god, we actually killed him.
Did it? Ah!
What's going on with these people?
Why are they glitching out?
It's like just the penny. Look at nuisance up here.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, their whole team is
they're
there.
protecting Jeff.
This ain't happening.
Oh, no.
Oh, I forgot that. Dude, I can't stand the checkpoints on this game. Anyways, all right. So 4K, high settings with some DLSS, which honestly I think would have ran great without DLSS too. 5080 is a pretty good card. I was gonna say for the money. The 5080 is a pretty good card if you can get it at MSRP.
Good luck. Next game. All right, guys, we're in Spider-Man 2, currently running 4K with no upscaling. Let me turn off this dynamic render scaling. We don't need this. Let's get rid of that. And we're currently running the high preset with high ray tracing. So this is going to look pretty dang good. And again, with this game, the goal is to maintain that 60 FPS. When you're running this game with high ray tracing, it's definitely going to be very demanding. And VRAM-wise, I mean, we're up to 13 gigs of VRAM being used currently. So good thing we have 16. And yeah, this is working. DLSS is honestly not bad on this setup because this game was designed with frame gen and DLSS in mind for the PlayStation 5. So as you see, we're getting dips below 60 every so often, but I don't really think it has to do with the CPU holding us back at all in this value build. We're a little low on the GPU on 97%, but realistically, it's just running really good. Not too bad.
It's definitely visually pretty nice.
Yes, it looks very nice. When we get to a high point, I'll switch to a little DLSS to see if we can notice the difference, because I will say, and even a lot of our creators have seen it too, DLSS at 4K, it's getting close to non-noticeable at this point when you're running, and it's basically free performance. So running DLSS, especially with these new gen GPUs, definitely worth it. This right here would be a demand. Oh, why did I whip out the wings?
He's a flying squirrel.
You guys are so silly. We fight from the sky.
I'm like, what's going on? How are we floating?
Oh. Shoot your own person? That's crazy. You get webbed and you get webbed. Oh. Bye-bye. Ah, I finally got health. Wow. You're still alive, dude? Seriously?
He's tanky.
Done. Yeah, so about 60 FPS there. Let's just see what DLSS does, just for the fun of it, while we're here. Let's do some DLSS, quality. Let's just not even touch frame gen right now. Let's just see what this does. So we're good there. And not a major difference, I'll be honest. We are getting, I mean, GPU usage dropped, which is always cool to see. The wattage
hitting
goes lower.
hundreds now.
Yeah, we're in the hundreds. We definitely never hit 100. So yeah, I would probably just run this. Like, you're getting a good solid above 60 FPS, the 80s to 90s pretty comfortably, sometimes in the 70s. So yeah, no, I definitely would run just DLSS, no frame gen on this, and have a really good time playing this game. But hey, for a value RTX 5080 PC, this is pretty dang good. We're on some other benchmarks as well. See if this 7700 holds us back in any way. Obviously, you get a 9800 X3D or something like that. You'll get a little more FPS, but I think for most people, this would be just fine if this is the CPU paired with the GPU like the 5080 and you're playing higher resolution. But we gotta test it to find out. Let's do that and wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, we just got done doing some 4K gaming on this RTX 5080, and of course it is pretty close to being the best top-of-the-line GPU on the market right now besides the 5090, which you just can't buy. And only having around $2,300 in this build is actually really good.
And of course we had to run some more benchmarks to fully stress this PC. The other games we tested are as follows. We ran some more games at 4K, Black Myth Wukong on very high settings using DLSS, no frame gen, got an average of 85 FPS, a max of 104, a minimum of 17. Horizon Forbidden West native 4K on the very high preset, got an average of 80 to 90 FPS. Then we did some 1440p gaming, and I will say this was the highest CS2 average I've ever seen on low settings. Got an average of 606 FPS with a 1% low of 209. I think you're all good for some CS2 gameplay with this PC. And then we ran Monster Hunter Wilds at 1440p ultra settings native and got a 93 FPS average. And lastly, our 3D Mark score,
25,949, which ends up being a 9 cent per point, which, you know, building yourself is not the lowest cent per point, but typically you start to kind of lose some cent per point as you go to these higher end parts.
So in terms of building the most value-focused RTX 5080 gaming PC, I think we did a pretty good job here. We got a really nice budget case from Zalman. Shout out again to them for being the case sponsor of today's video, and we're able to put together a really clean looking build using a 5080. Now yes, of course, the 5080 is gonna be hard to get, but if you manage to get one and spend a little bit more than you should, and maybe you don't have enough budget to splurge for the best of the best CPUs, maybe consider this build by using the links in the description down below. They will be affiliate links, and they will help us out. Let us know what you think of this configuration down below. Are you buying a 5080 anytime soon?
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Now you guys are going to love the deal that we're going to be selling this for at PCBros.tech with a 1-year parts and labor warranty. So if anything goes wrong, you're covered.
PCBros.tech, we sell gaming PCs like this. We feature here on the YouTube channel and a bunch of other ones ready to go for you guys with a 1-year warranty and good customer support. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You'll save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later.